Better.
You did the burp too early.
No, I'm planning that.
Well, we're live now, so go ahead and burp whenever you want.
Thanks.
Let's go straight to YouTube.
Okay. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Why is my brain thinking I'm forgetting something?
Do you have a kudos?
No, I do not.
Oh,
I have
we
kudos
wasted
for
the good kudos on you.
I have a kudos for the double Big Mac, but I'm not going to worry about it.
Oh, do it.
I mean, I feel like can't do
want
too
you to
many
do it.
kudos.
It's
Okay,
already
I'll do
good.
it briefly.
Yeah, we'll do a kudos.
Okay, whenever you're ready. Ugh, I keep burping it up, dude. Pickles.
Pickles? Why?
Big Mac.
Oh, you ate that.
Yeah, I ate a double Big Mac, and I'm burping up pickles.
It's okay. We'll talk about this. Hold
Yeah.
on. Okay. Okay. Oh man, it's been a long week.
Yeah, dude, I'm super tired.
Well, we still got to record this tonight. So, like, what's your energy levels at?
I don't know, dude. I just ate a double Big Mac.
Oof, that's not good.
Yeah, so my fart energy levels are absolutely full, though.
Okay. Okay, I think we can use this.
You just logged into? Excellent. Welcome to the 3-Bit Gamer Show. I'm JD.
This is Peterson.
And that's where we're at. 4 patties of fart power. That's what the
McDonald's
be
patties. Like. This is it's
So
like double. I don't know what
thin,
they do.
Gray. Good, good old-fashioned American beef.
I love that McDonald's patties taste like nothing else. There is not another patty that tastes like that.
I think you get a unique experience. There is something they said, like, on average, McDonald's patties can contain meat from as many as 100 different cows. I mean, that's variety in your diet.
It did.
People tell me to mix it up.
You cannot get more cows in your body at any point than by eating a McDonald's hamburger.
McDonald's is maximizing how many animal souls you can consume.
There's got to be a Brandon Sanderson.
When you get to hell, depending on how many McDonald's burgers you've eaten, all of those cows haunt you, and it could be like a legion of cows.
They're all standing there with their arms folded.
Ooh. How could you do this?
Live from the 3-Bit Gamer Show. The news.
All right. Our news this week is brought to us by Crave Cookies. Crave Cookies is this cookie shop that is spread all over the United States at this point. You can jump on cravecookies.com and check out the location finder and see if you have one near you. You probably do.
All over the place now. It's like, that's crazy. Like there was a post today that was like, here's our locations that are open on Sundays. And this listed a couple. And there was like all the Las Vegas locations, all the New Jersey's locations. I was like, how many do they have in those places? I guess I don't even know anymore.
You look at this map, looks like the United States has a serious case of the cookie pox.
I like that.
So another cool thing you'll see on cravecookies.com is that Crave Cookies has a rotating cookie menu each week. They have a new batch of fresh cookies that they've cooked up, baked up, I don't know. And we here at the 3-Bit Gamer Show get a super sneak peek of the week of what cookies will be coming up next week. So we'll tell you what will be coming out the week of February 2nd, Groundhog Day.
Guys, I don't think you understand what we're saying right now. There is a national chain out there, and you get this exclusively from this podcast. You're all taking it for granted. So am I.
Yeah, it's wild. And I don't know. I just think it's crazy they do a new menu every single week. The logistics of that are a nightmare to me. So let's see. February 2nd, we've got the Rockstar Death by Red Velvet Black Forest cookie.
What's that one?
I don't know, something chocolatey. Baked butter beer.
Okay.
And Better Than Sex, but don't call it Better Than Sex.
Solid.
Or the people in Salt Lake City will get so mad at you.
Here's what I've decided about the Better Than Sex cookie. It's very good. I if I'm gonna get it, I need to get it. I can't get all 6 at once because I have to. The Better Than Sex cookie is the best that day. So if you're gonna eat it, just get it that day and eat the whole thing.
I think you're wrong. Have you ever put it in the fridge, or do you just leave it on the counter?
No, I put it in the fridge.
Oh,
I put it in the fridge.
I feel like it's great in the fridge. I leave it in the fridge for a couple days because I get like 3 or 4 of them, and then
I just like
snack on them.
I like it that when you get it and it's cold and the stuff on top is perfect. That's my prime Better Than Sex. That is better than sex.
Yeah, the day fresh Better Than Sex.
No one wants old sex.
Old
sex. Yeah.
No one wants old sex. That's what we'll call this episode. Old sex.
The worst name we could come up with.
There's hot sex, there's wet sex, and then there's old sex. All right, so that's it. Go get on down to Crave Cookies. Don't get old sex, get cookies. That's their new slogan.
Their marketing guy hates us.
We're the worst. The British Army is trying to use Fortnite as a recruitment tool. Britain has an army?
They don't have an army. I mean, they do, but it's like, come on, it's the U.S. Army.
Come on.
They're just recruiting for us, actually. That's what Canada does. Canada's recruitment is like, yay, look, we got this great plan. We'll send you down to the United States. And you're like, wait, I don't want to be like, well.
I saw this thing, some positioning the U.S. was doing in regards to Russia and Ukraine, and they moved some more nukes into Britain. I'm sorry, if another sovereign nation can just go drop nukes in your country and be like, hey, we're going to leave these here. These are ours, though. Don't touch them. We're going to shoot these off if we want to. You don't have an army. You're just the subsidiary. Come on.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're trying to shake that image by recruiting in Fortnite. They're going to get the British children off their asses and, I don't know, into
out of the pubs.
A lorry.
And
a troop lorry. It's really racking my knowledge of British terms there.
Dude, and I'm out. That's all.
And that's all I know.
What's a buggy? I know that's something.
So this is a new Fortnite experience. I don't know what a Fortnite experience is, but this is a new one that they've drummed up called Operation Belong. Ew. Is this better or worse than Operation Hard Doorstop? I don't know.
Harsh doorstop.
Harsh doorstop. Yeah, that's still worse.
Yeah.
This is a video that plays the outlining the experience that says, "You belong here. Work as one. Test your agility. Unlock the enigma, conquer obstacles, apply your training." Dude, it's like those old those ads for the Marines in like the early 2000s where it was like a video game character like jumping over a volcano or whatever, and then he summoned a sword and fought a dragon monster.
Yeah.
That's the exact same fucking thing. There's no correlation to actually fighting in the army. So I guess this is they're live streaming an influencer competition within Operation Belong. And this is clearly in violation of Fortnite's rules. This is a direct quote. Commercial and sponsored content say that it, quote, must not promote enrollment in the military.
That's
so the British
rule?
Army's like, hey, we're not, recruiting or promoting. We're just making an experience for you guys.
We want you to see how cool it is.
But we're literally going to call it "You Belong Here," as in you belong in the British Army. Also, how localized is Fortnite? Is it? I don't know what the European scene is, but they must be able to localize it so German kids aren't seeing this stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I know a lot about video games, but also I don't know anything about video games or how they work. So I don't know how localized it is.
All we know is that they're trying to get your kids in the army.
They're doing it wrong. Here's the thing. I was thinking about this. They're doing it wrong. You want to get kids to sign up for Fortnite? You develop as part of your training the Fortnite training.
Ooh.
Where you have a classic Fortnite gun. You get to dress whatever you want, and you get to run through like their Fortnite obstacle course, and then do your best dance at the end. And then you just get to shoot. They're like, shoot a real life Fortnite gun. You want like they need to just, and then they like stream this, and these military kids. Every kid, every 14-year-old will be like, dude, I want to do that. I want to shoot guns while doing this obstacle course. And the only place I can do that is the British military.
British Army. British Foreign Legion. I'm in.
That's what they should be doing.
You belong.
Like, oh, look, come talk to us in Fortnite. I don't know what they're doing.
This is weird. Keep your kids out of Fortnite, I guess, if they're British.
Good luck.
In Blizzard's latest embarrassing development, the Saudis now run Overwatch esports. They just are like, here you go. You guys, one of the last things we talked about regarding this was that Blizzard spent $114 million buying out all of the old Overwatch city teams that they tried to establish so hard starting in like 2016. We were like, oh, we're going to have city-sponsored sports teams worth millions of dollars and all of this traveling shit, and everyone's going to go root for their favorite. And it never took off. It never did anything, and it was always terrible. And even however many years later, 7 years later, they still needed to spend over $100 million buying everyone out. And so instead of just throwing in the towel, like Hotsy Sports did, or like they did with Hotsy Sports, where they're like, it's not working. Dude, they're just chasing losses here. And they're like, we can save it. We can keep it going. We just need to get what everyone needs. Blood money. Just a little blood money, to lubricate the wheels of business.
We don't need a lot of it. Like, well, we do need a
blood
lot
money
of it.
goes pretty far, because you don't need to be accountable to the people who give it to you, because they're murderers.
Well, what I think is interesting here is that there already wasn't a lot of women in esports, but now they just won't even be allowed. So it's like we don't even have to worry about it now. So like diversity,
you just throw a Snuggie over them during the tournaments, and then then you're good. This is the ESL Face It Group, which is an esports business backed by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. So there's so many of these names, so many of these companies that sound legit, but it all just tracks back to the rich fundy kid who's in charge of Saudi Arabia, who likes playing with his video games.
You know the videos you see of online of like the dudes making their friends like they're his pet leopard like attack his friends and stuff? It's that guy.
Yes.
It's that guy.
It's just Tiger King with a little bit more money. That's who's running
100%.
The country of Saudi Arabia. So the ESL, aka the Saudis, will operate the Overwatch Champions Series in North America, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa starting in February. That's going to affect nobody, because nobody plays Overwatch esports anymore. No one certainly watches it. But at least the Saudis are getting in on it. I don't know.
They tried to get Fortnite, and Fortnite was like, nah, why? And
we're in bed with the British Army.
Just wait. When your game starts going downhill, which it eventually will, you'll come crawling to us.
You'll be crawling across the desert like everyone else that can't find money in China anymore, and they all come crawling to the Saudis for blood money. In Blizzard's latest embarrassing development, Microsoft has canceled the survival game they spent 6 years making.
Dude, okay, this immediately, like we made predictions. What was that, last episode, the week before that, 2 episodes ago?
Mm-hmm.
Mine's already gone. I predicted that Microsoft was going to make Blizzard. They're like, well, we bought this. Now you guys are going to announce all of the stuff you've been working on. We're going to do some premature announcements. Yeah. I didn't know.
Premature cancellations.
They went the opposite way. They were like, how long you been working on this? 6 years? Cut it. It's gone.
It sucks.
All right.
This game was codenamed Odyssey, and they announced the news in an email to employees last Thursday morning, and then most of the Odyssey team was let go subsequently. There was like 100 people working on this game. It was set in a new universe, so I don't think it was going to be like a StarCraft-based survival game, which would be cool. I think people would be down for that. It was like supposed to be like Minecraft and Rush, Rust, I'm sorry, but with, quote, more polish and fewer bugs. And they had envisioned these huge maps supporting up to 100 players at once. Are there... I don't know. I don't know Ark. I don't know Rust. I don't even know Minecraft. Are there any survival games that support that many people in a server? 100?
I think Minecraft can, because Minecraft's world is theoretically
Basic.
endless.
Oh.
It's just generated, and it like as you go, it just like generates in front of you. So it's far out there, but
Wow.
yeah. So
Okay. Well, so I guess it not totally without precedent, but making it without bugs is kind of
yeah,
crazy.
what are they thinking? Have they? No one in the history of video games has made a video game
Especially
without
a survival game.
especially Blizzard.
So one of the issues, which seems to be a very common theme, I don't know at what point someone catches on, but they forced the team that was working on this, to use Blizzard's internal Synapse engine instead of Unreal, which is what they started using for it. But the problem with Synapse is it is an engine that was built for mobile gaming first. Yeah, and they were trying to build something, if you remember, that could support 100 players on these servers, something that all these existing games don't even fuck with. And they were going to come do this out of the gate. They're going to do it on their own engine. This is such a common thread. Even we had Danny talking about this on the podcast, is being forced to use a different engine than the one the developers actually want or think is best because of like political stuff. Like or because they're trying to save money. This happened to Anthem. This is a big part of what killed Anthem. But there have been a handful of other games that have died on this spire because the studio heads are like, we're using this. They were even
have an
mocking
engine, just use that, and be like, it's not for this type of game.
Like, right, we can't even make mock-ups in it. We are making mock-ups in Unreal for the game, knowing full well that we won't be able to use them because that's more efficient than using Synapse. That's crazy. The amount of wasted work, when you're forcing employees to do wasted work, you're a bad manager.
Yeah.
Straight up, all the way up to the top. You're just bad.
Like,
and that's
I get it, wanting to use your own engine, but like I feel like they just blatantly disregard the people who understand the engine. Like, you'll see people trying to make a multiplayer first-person shooter in an engine that has never supported that ever in the history of ever. And so it's like,
it looks like shit.
And they're like, yeah, no, we can't do this. And they're like, well, it's going to save us a ton of money, so you're going to do it. And then the game gets shut down, and you're like, you didn't save anybody anything. It was just a money hole. And so
6 years is longer than I think even Anthem was on the long tail.
6 years is
6 years is a very long time. 2018, probably even earlier.
First off, a shockingly long time for a company like Blizzard, in my opinion, to be making a survival game.
100 people. Reminder, Valheim was made with 5. Palworld was made with 40. Minecraft was made with like 2. And they had 100 people. They had 600 man years on this fucking thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and they had nothing to show for it.
What
the fuck?
I don't know what they're, and like, Blizzard's not doing like Ubisoft graphics, right? They're doing Blizzard graphics, which I don't know if that makes a difference, but like, I feel like this should be doable. And so maybe that's why Microsoft was like, you know what? No, you guys.
Yeah, because if you're at 6 years and you don't have something that you can show, and Microsoft does, that means you probably got 2 more years minimum to get this into a shape. But I think it sounds like to me like 2 years to get it into an early release state.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know what
that's
so
doing. Crazy.
Blizzard's
fucked, dude.
I feel like this happens all the time. We hear these stories and we're like, what were they doing this whole time? I don't understand game development, but I feel like 6 years is a long time.
What was it? 60? Not how many billions of dollars did Microsoft just spend on this shithole company? And they get in there and they're like, what is all this garbage? Oh,
like, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. We're working on this game.
They way overpaid.
Show it to us, and they're like, I don't know if we can show it to you. It's not really ready for that. And they're like, how long you been working? 6 years. And they're like, yeah, you're all fired. That sounds terrible. Sounds like Kotick didn't care. is what it sounds like.
Yeah, $69 billion. You guys might have overpaid.
TBD.
Pokemon fans are so angry that people are enjoying Palworld, they're sending the developers death threats.
How dare you?
Obvious Blursty Nom for Gamer Rage. We appreciate these coming out in January. You know, it's always nice to be reminded that this is a year-round gimmick that we do. This came from the Pocket Pair CEO Takuro Mizobi on Twitter. He said, currently we are receiving slanderous comments against our artists, and we are seeing tweets that appear to be death threats. I have received a variety of opinions regarding Palworld, but all productions related to Palworld are supervised by multiple people, including myself, and I am responsible for the production. I would appreciate it if you could refrain from slandering the artists involved in Palworld. I love that.
They're just kids. Leave them alone.
Just a cute PR statement. The fact that people, I mean, it's Twitter, so people just say shit, especially Elon Musk Twitter. People say Nazis say shit now, and they're like,
you can just say whatever you want.
You can just be verified with,
and you have a lot of room to say it too. They got more space, unlimited.
Yeah, exactly. So that's great, but I still think it's serious that people would be. I think even within the realm of Twitter, this is odd. This is aberrant. This is weird that somebody would be even jokingly upset. I can't see someone like seriously being this upset. Like, we report on a lot of gamer rage, but like,
here's what I don't understand.
Pokemon.
I feel like if you like Pokemon a lot, you
want more of it.
You should be stoked for this game.
You're not like,
this is the best Pokemon game that's
Pokemon is not a zero-sum game where it's like, that's it. If it's not Pokemon, you can't play it because you're a Pokemon loyalist. Like, it's not a thing. Like, it's not a sports team.
Maybe that is. What do Pokemon fans think about Digimon?
And that's the other crazy thing is the Pokemon fans have been receiving nothing but shit for the last like 4 years. I actively wanted to buy my nephew a Pokemon game for Christmas last year and just straight up couldn't find a good one. I'm like, there's nothing on the market when I want to buy a game for my nephew. And this year is no different. Like, that's rough, dude. That's a tough scene. I can't find a game that would entertain a 8-year-old. That's how bad Pokemon is right now. And so the fans are like bitter about that. And they're just like going to drag everyone down with them.
That's what I'm saying. They should be stoked about Palworld because it's finally a good Pokemon game.
No, my team's losing, so all teams have to lose. Oh my god, I hate it.
Okay, by the way, speaking of Palworld, can we talk about Palworld in this? Like how many sales they've had for a second?
I mean, yeah, it's
6 days. In their 6th day, they sold their 8 millionth copy. 8 million in 6 days, and they're selling this for like $30 on Steam. So I did the math. I put it at $25 because it was discounted to $28 for a few days. That's $200 million,
dude. And that's the thing is that I remember that Valheim hit 8 million, and I think that was after a month or so, and that was at $15.
Yeah.
So I think the price is even more notable because it is a steeper price. This is a lot. Valheim made sense. Minecraft made sense. These games were dirt cheap, easy to get into. So the fact that they were really buzzy made sense. But Palworld is pricey, dude.
$30 for a very, very early access game. We'll kind of get into a little bit of that later, but like, this game is super early access. So I don't know. This is crazy, but I do love the gamer age aspect of this story. That's just classic. It's tribalism, right? It's my team, my guys.
Mm-hmm.
I like Pokemon. That's my life. And how dare you guys try to rip it off again?
It doesn't even make sense, dude. There's like tribalism in fucking everything. And even like a lot of it you can see how it makes sense. Like, I follow a lot of pro wrestling, and there's tribalism between wrestling companies, and that makes sense because you're like, oh, I want like the best wrestlers to like come over to the company that I watch the most. So there's like that kind of makes sense. There's no like this does not detract from Pokemon one iota. If
know.
anything, it pushes Pokemon to be better.
Exactly.
I just this is so beyond. This is a weird one for Gamer Rage for me. I am
Well, start
there.
sending your death threats because
that's
I
how
don't know.
all conversations start in 2024.
I've got a couple queued up already, just so I can hit Control V.
I know
Done.
where you live. I'm gonna cut your fucking head off. Stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to play it now?
I do.
All right, this is for our live viewing audience for YouTube. This is the test version of this, but here you go.
You guys like it?
This is our new beat.
Flag us for content.
Welcome to the job hunt. Your resume doesn't matter. The competition's fierce. Let's go!
Peterson is the king of bumpers. I sent him a request. I was like, "We need a layoff bumper." He's like, "I got this."
I had an
Sent me
idea.
that, like,
I was
an
just
hour
sitting there and
later.
I was like, okay, I got an idea.
Perfect.
And that I made that. I didn't have time to refine it tonight, but on the podcast we'll get the good one of it.
All right, it's layoff time again. I'm starting to see that this is going to be a weekly segment, or at least a common enough segment that we needed to get a bumper for it. So, barf. I'll just start at the top. Microsoft. This is kind of one we are a little bit alluding to. Microsoft came in with the axe and started chopping heads at Activision Blizzard. 1,900 people. That's an 8% cut of its video game staff of 22,000 workers. 1,900 people. Remember, last week we were just reporting, I think, that it was over 6,000. With the Unity did like 2,000. Like, there's some big ones that just like put a huge
like big ones,
base
big.
foundation of numbers. So when we report on a company laying off 30, it barely is a drop in the bucket. Blizzard also parted ways with Mike Ybarra, the president and chief design officer, Alan Adam, who was one of the company's co-founders. So they were really cleaning up house.
Yeah, just wiping it up.
That's fucking crazy. And I think it's wild. I guess I didn't know Microsoft had a staff connected to their gaming enterprise of 22,000 people. How the fuck did they get this purchase through? This is why you have antitrust laws. So you can't affect this large of an industry at this scale. I don't know, because one company's not doing well. The next one here is Riot Games, who cut 530 jobs, representing 11% of their staff. This one I just got to take a second to highlight. Absolutely shocking. 6 months severance for all of these people affected. And they will also receive their full 2023 performance bonus. They also have access to their healthcare. They have access to their Riot email for the next 6 months. So they can still, access their contacts and whoever, and including Riot's like ongoing job hunt help. Like, that was really weird. It was really nice to see. 6 months severance is fucking wild, guys.
I was gonna say, like, of all companies, right, of Riot be the one that like does a layoff, and it actually seems like they feel kind of bad about it.
Yeah, it was really weird.
This big long message, but yeah, it's actions speak louder than words, right? Like you said, big severance. Like, they're trying to keep these people essentially alive as long as they can until they're off their books, right?
Yeah.
And if you're gonna lay off, that's a lot of companies now. I mean, we just talked about it. You get a layoff email, and you're like, see ya. Like, yeah, you've been affected.
Bye.
You're gone, effective immediately, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And they might have severance.
They're giving them their laptop too. If you want a laptop from IT, you can just have one. They'll just give you one.
Yep.
What the fuck? That's awesome. Yeah. Riot Games.
I know. I was like, is this Riot Games?
Yeah.
What do we? I don't understand. I don't even understand. I don't understand.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of sad. I feel like because I got a month of severance when I got laid off, and I was like, cool, I got a month to just like chill. And then month 2 came along, and I was like, all right, severance run out, like time to like start really buckling down. I'm in month like 4 or 5, and I'm like, I'll do fucking anything. So I worry that these people are going to spend the entire 6 months looking for jobs, and then hitting that point, and then feeling their time is wasted. Guys, don't spend that 6 months looking for jobs in the game industry.
They don't.
Pivot now. Spend 6 months. Get that 6 months of like money and pivot right now.
Move out of LA.
Yeah.
Go.
Get the fuck out of Santa Monica.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. Anyway, also there's a little piece in Kotaku that was entitled "Not Even Call of Duty Devs Are Safe." This was a Kotaku article that outlined all of the people involved in Call of Duty who were laid off, which I think is kind of a canary in a coal mine sort of situation, because it's Call of Duty. And if you're laying people, I mean, to be fair, the last Call of Duty sucked.
Yep.
And did not do numbers at all. But man, if I'm working on a Call of Duty game, I'm feeling pretty confident that like, oh yeah. It's like if you're working on the Honda Civic line at Honda, you're like, yeah,
I made it. I've got job security.
Yeah.
For so long.
No one's got job security. Finally, this is the article that Kotaku ran. I don't know if this was updated Thursday. So I don't know if it involved. Let's see. They've got Twitch on there. They've got, let's see if they've got the latest huge ones. Oh, yeah, they've got Riot on there and Microsoft. So this probably comprises everything. The article is 25 days into 2024 and 5,900 plus video game layoffs have been announced.
This is not great.
And remember, last year was 12,000 and it set a record, which just beat the previous year, which was like 8,000 or 9,000. So it's been really high for 3 years. And this year, it is almost reaching the record. I mean, it's halfway to the record, and we're not even through January yet.
And to be fair, it is pretty common for companies to do layoffs in the first quarter. You come back from the holiday break or whatever, and then they really buckle down and like they got to do the layoffs because they had the fourth quarter earnings and they've kind of been making plans based on that. So it's not uncommon, but this is rough. 25 days, almost 7,000 people. That doesn't feel very good.
Snorkel on our YouTube chat just said, I feel like this is going to be a groundbreaking moment for indie studios. That's what I keep feeling like.
Yeah.
Because they're not only going to be the only people making games right now, because AAA studios are in the famine mode, clearly. But they also have their pick of the litter. If they so deem it necessary to go hire talent, oh man, is there talent out there right now? Talent that would probably be happy to go work for an indie studio for a couple of years. So I think it'll be a good year. I think it'll be a good couple of years for indies for sure.
Can I just say, like, whenever there's bad stuff happening in the world, there's always somebody who's benefiting from that.
Yeah, it's rich guys.
HR people, man, look at this, dude. The job security right now, dude, I would just walk into work with my axe over my shoulder and be like, who's next, boss?
I'll chop heads. I'll get on Zoom calls all day long.
Are you wearing it a head? What is it? The
executioner's mask?
Yeah. Like, yeah, I got one. I got it from Amazon. Like, it's crazy. It's so easy to get. Can I wear this to work now? And they're like, yeah, this is. Oh,
you like this? Wanted. Oh, yeah, totally.
It's a good time to be HR, baby. Woohoo!
You guys are eating well. Along with laying off 11% of its staff, Riot Games also canceled a Twitch competitor they've been building. This was kind of a big bet. Riot's Esports Network was the name of it. They nicknamed it REN. It was supposed to be a web and mobile app where fans could watch and engage with Riot's competitive games and professional players.
To be honest, they're way behind the mark on this one. If they
done this 5 years ago.
If they would have had this in like 2015, dude, it would have been massive when League of Legends was just like screaming hot.
Yeah. Because I had
Would've
you
been
had the League of Legends app on your phone, right?
Yeah.
I had it. I don't even know what it fucking did in hindsight,
It
but
would
I had
have
it.
been huge.
And then you would have had this. It would have added to the live streaming experience by integrating Riot's games so players could receive bonuses for watching or purchasing in-game items. So basically, they're just monetizing streaming. So you're not just watching a streamer; you're constantly being bombarded by ads and opportunities to buy stuff, to just so they can constantly tap your wallet while you're watching people play League of Legends. It's weird. What this came from was an acquisition in 2021. They bought a media technology startup called Kanga, and they brought all those people on, and that was the idea, is they were going to be creating fan hubs for competitive players and teams, including videos, wagering, and merchandise sales. I mean, that's like when I say it's a big bet, it's not like they were like, let's explore this idea internally. They went out and bought a whole ass company to do this.
Yeah.
And then this is part of what they shut down. Riot's been crazy. Like
Here's
the
the
last
thing.
couple of years, they've been spending so much fucking money on stupid shit.
And they're too late. That's the whole
Yeah.
thing. When they were
Trend
really
chasing.
going great, they were like, no, League of Legends is our only thing. This is it. We're focusing all of our efforts on this. And then they started diversifying, which good on them for trying something, but they're too late. If, in my opinion, like the popularity, I mean, it's still huge, but like the popularity is waning. And so they're trying to get people into it, and they're using the same world, and like they missed. And they do mention that in their layoff email and that big statement that they have.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we tried a bunch of things and they're not panning out. And you're like, yeah, I mean, good on you for trying, but like, you're way too late. You guys should have done this 10 years ago.
That's what that is. When you're buying a whole company, it's you admitting you're trend chasing, and you're doing it way too late. You don't have the time to do it internally. You don't have time to build that knowledge base in-house. So you just go buy someone else's knowledge so you can hopefully try to make up the gap.
Yeah.
But God, is that so fucking expensive?
Yep.
And that's so crazy. And clearly it didn't pay off, because it has to pay big. It can't just pay off like, oh yeah, if we make some bucks here. This had a launch and just like kill it, and it didn't. So it's gone. Rip REN. Video games helped a Ukrainian Bradley gunner win a duel with a Russian tank. Did you watch this video?
No, I didn't.
Watch the first video, like on the clip. It is terrifying. A Bradley fighting vehicle, if you guys are envisioning, it's a tank, but it's just got like a little skinny wiener gun, and it's more like square. It's just like a rectangle that drives with a little skinny gun that sticks out. And this is fighting a Russian T-90M. This is, I think, Russia's biggest tank. It's
Big
what
tank.
you envision when you think of a tank. Just like a huge fucking wide profile, gigantic front gun, and a huge rotating platform on the top. Looks right at home, rolling down red square next to some like ICBMs on a truck. That's what is fighting against this little Bradley vehicle. And the Bradley fighting vehicle, so it's at a disadvantage. You put these two up against each other in World of Tanks, and the Bradley's going to really struggle.
You're gone.
So what happened is this is a Ukrainian tank gunner known only as Sergei. They didn't release his name beyond that for whatever reason, probably his family's safety. He was the gunner in this tank, and there was a first Bradley fighting vehicle that had a bad standoff with this T-90 and just bounced and so they were behind him. They're like, well, it's our turn. We'll go take a crack at it. Oh fuck. And so they ride up on this tank, and they are like running at a crossroads, and the tank's like down the road a little bit, and he starts firing on it with one weapon. Then he says, quote, "But I played video games. I remembered everything, both how to hit and where. I could stop him at any cost." So he realizes that based on his experience playing these tank video games, he needs to switch to a different ammo type and aim for the T-90's optics. He knows where the optics center are on the T-90 because that's where the programmers of this video game programmed the weak point in the game. Because if you guys play any of these military equipment games like World of Tanks, you know how incredibly seriously they take the details. And
if you're
realism.
wrong, the fans will get mad and point that
Like,
out. And we've talked about that years
national
ago.
security issues from like someone trying to figure out how many rivets were on one side of a battleship. And they're like, oh, we actually revealed that this battleship had like some hidden technology in it. Shit like that. So these games are very hyper realistic. And he used this experience and he said, quote, due to issues with anti-armor, I started blinding him so he couldn't leave. So he switches to this exploding armor-piercing round, which in this video is the scariest fucking thing. Warfare is so scary now because it's not like in World War I where they were shooting these rounds that could just blow up fucking everything. Now we have armor that resists that type of round, and it's fucking crazy. So you have to shoot it. This is a chain machine gun on the Bradley. So it's shooting so fast these huge rounds into this big tank. He blinds it. The tank just veers off and hits a tree, and then they kill it with a drone. It's fucking crazy, and it's all because this guy had been just playing games, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I need to switch.
I know what to do.
I need to switch ammo types and aim for this one part of the tank." Dude, it's crazy. You guys ought to watch this video on Twitter. It's so scary.
Yeah, it is.
Way to go, Sergey.
Yeah, killed it.
All right, get your wet wipes ready. It's time for riblets. Riblets are little meat chunks of news wrapped around bones that are too sharp and splintery to suck the meat off. So you have to kind of nibble carefully because you don't want to end up with shards
Honestly,
in your gums.
Use a fork and a knife. It's only ribs you're gonna eat with a fork.
So our first riblet here is one of our favorite beats. Someone sent us this.
I don't want it to end.
I hope he goes on for fucking ever. Who sent us this on Discord? Anyway, Florida Joker has posted a new video. If you guys are unaware, Florida Joker. Oh, it was LL Whoops on Discord. Florida Joker is this guy who kind of vaguely looks like the Joker. Like he had Joker tattoos. So he tattooed black around his eyes, and I think he tattooed something on his mouth. But now he has like a shitty scum beard, like a blonde beard, and so you can't really see the other face tattoos. It's a really gnarly look. He's under the impression that GTA, Rockstar Games, in their GTA 6 trailer, stole his likeness. And he's demanding money. And so here's the latest demand he's left for the company on
the
Instagram.
Newest video. Here we go.
It's dropped now.
GTA, we gotta talk. Take 2, we gotta talk. I'm really not trying to sue y'all, so I'm gonna give y'all extra month. Hit me up, let me voice the character. Give me more storyline in the game. And give me a few mil. Give me a royalty deal off of it. Let's make history happen, man. Y'all see what I did for the game. We made news. We made the blogs. Everybody's covering me. Everybody love me, man. Everybody know me as the GTA 6 Joker, the Florida Joker. Find somebody else in Florida, let alone in Florida, whole state of Florida and Miami, that character is betrayed off of. Stop playing with me, GTA 6. Where's my money? Call me. Let's make this deal happen. I ain't trying to do all this lawsuit, lawyers, all this and that, but if I got to, I will. Y'all got a month to hit me up. Let me voice the character. Throw me some bread. Let's work. GTA, we gotta talk. Take 2. Where my money at? Let's go.
We made the blogs. Dude, we made it. We made the blog. I got
Finally.
GTA 6 press. That's what his pitch is. Also, I think he's grossly overestimating the pay scale for video game voice actors.
1,000%. Here's the thing. So here's my take. Did they use the news story that he was initially on as like part of their video? Yes, it was inspired by that. Absolutely. I mean, you see the video of like the real stories in the news that all these were inspired by, right? But he's like really going for it. Now, they didn't use his exact likeness, right? They used an inspiration, I would say. Fine, whatever. But he is asking First of all, I think he's assuming that this is going to be a prominent character in the games. And if I had to bet, this is nothing. This is
No.
just a new.
If you've ever watched a trailer for GTA before, they're generally like
they
just don't have
how
yeah.
This was a clip to show Florida's crazy. That's where we gonna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh no, I saw this guy who kind of looks like me. It was like my news story. So this is obviously a character in the game. I bet he doesn't even show up in the game."
You know what really throws me about this video is he's standing in like his mom's kitchen, and she seems to be like a nice upper middle class lady.
Just
Like
a
this
super
looks like a
normal
kitchen
house.
out of there's like a drawing of a Pikachu on the fridge.
Yeah, with like a long-haired child, maybe like middle school age on the
like
fridge.
a school photo. Everything is immaculate and clean, like white walls. And then there's this like absolute trash bag standing there talking
many
like
tattoos. He's got green hair, I think, in this
Yeah.
video.
just
And
an idiot.
His hairline is the best part. Is his hairline is like the middle of his head, but he's
Yeah.
got to keep that green hair so he can be Joker. And then he's got the tattoos go all the way.
This guy's mom is such a sweet lady. I think she's just really supportive. And she's like, "Mom, I'm gonna start talking like a fucking idiot." And she's like, "Whatever you gotta do,
I gotta
Johnny,
get
that's
that
cute."
bread. He's like, I have bread in the bread box.
Yeah,
And
because
he's
like his name on Instagram, is that just me?
What is it?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Okay, never mind. I thought he had like a normal name, but I guess it's just Lawrence Sullivan.
His name's
It's
Lawrence?
like, yeah, dude, it's like the guy at the end of 8 Mile when Eminem roasts him based on his name. His name is Lawrence. The kitchen he's standing in here looks like it's a kitchen who belongs to the mother of Lawrence Sullivan.
Yeah,
Lawrence?
yeah. Oh,
He doesn't go by like L Soley or something. Lawrence Sullivan.
Florida Joker.
Florida Joker. Sorry, that was a little bit more than a Blursty. That is a big beat for us. Next up, or a bigger than a riblet. Next up here is a Blursty nom for the modder who put Pokemon in Palworld. He says Nintendo has, quote, come for him.
Well,
The guy who created this mod, you may have seen if you've seen a quick video floating around TikTok or YouTube that's like Palworld, Pokemon in Palworld, and it looks like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon.
Yeah.
Playing, against real Pokemon in Palworld. The guy, creator Toasted Shoes, that's a good name. I like that. Within 24 hours, he puts this tweet up, and within 24 hours, it was hauled offline by an apparent Digital Millennium Copyright Act takedown from Nintendo. And also, this is hilarious because Pokemon Company has been receiving apparently some of these people there were people that were upset enough to send death threats to the Palworld developers, but there were also people that took a nerdier track, and they were the ones that alerted Nintendo. Like, hey, have you guys seen this Palworld thing? Hey, Nintendo. That's almost the same level as Florida Joker saying, GTA, hit me up. That's like, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, and I gotta, hey, Nintendo, hit me up. Nintendo, did you know there's Palworld? Did you know, hit me up.
Have you guys seen this?
So
Dude, I think I
Nintendo
can help you.
releases a very
I got
rare
a Jewish
statement.
lawyer.
Both coast to coast. I have one in Miami, California. Here's a statement from Pokemon. We have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world and work on blah, 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 blah. Nintendo legit came with that was a statement that was like, dude, we know.
Yeah.
We fucking know.
Guys,
are you serious?
All anyone's talking about.
It is our job to know. We sue the pants off of everyone. And this dude, creator Toasted Shoes, gets our first Blurst decision, Blursty, for trying to trying to mod.
He posted it on his own Twitter, which has his face. Like,
dummy.
This is stupid. If you're going to put Ash in this, okay, first off, that it's not going to last a week. But why would you be like, guys, I did it. check this out. Go download this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's trying to sell
Drop
it or
it.
not.
Yeah, drop it somewhere sketchy where people can download it and play it on their own. But this is
You
weird.
rent a laptop from the library
Yeah,
to drop
and you
it
go
somewhere
connect
sketchy.
on McDonald's Wi-Fi using a VPN,
Yeah,
and you upload it with a Tor network.
Yeah, this is like, of course, this guy's getting sued immediately. So
No.
stupid.
Toasted shoes. We salute you, being a fucking idiot.
Kudos. Kudos.
Kudos.
Kudos, our positivity segment. I'd like to give a shout out to things, considering the news was so fucking negative this week. This is much needed. Peterson, what is this a Foodos? I see
This
bakery.
is a Foodos. Yeah.
Foodos!
So
Hear it.
I'm at Smith's and I was like, oh, I'm in the bakery section. I wanted some donuts. Actually, I really like those. I'm a sucker for those Dunford Bakery, just those donuts. They're
Just
really
basic,
good.
bitch. Just
They're
so
always-
basic.
They're always moist. I guess that's why. And so I was in there and I was like, okay, let's I was like, I'm in there about to buy those donuts and I see these paczki, and I'm like, that's Polish. I already know based on the spelling. The spelling is PACZKI.
Is it because it's all consonants?
Yeah, there's a Z in there somewhere randomly. There's a Z next to a
Just
C
shove a
or an S
Z.
or something. That's it.
Like, yeah, that's not English.
That's Polish. So, paczki, and I was like, oh, like when I was in the Czech Republic, they had something similar. It's a filled donut. It just looks like any cream filled or whatever filled donut. It's got powdered sugar on the outside. But Europeans, they had kind of a different take on it. They were just a different type of dough. It was good. So I bought them. There was a few different types. There's a Boston cream, raspberry, lemon, and cream cheese. I bought the cream cheese ones because that seemed the most authentic.
Oh, sounds so good.
So I picked them up, and I honestly was not expecting much out of them. I cut into one, and it was moist. The cream cheese was thick.
Good
and
ratio.
Perfect ratio. It wasn't too full, but it was like just full enough. You didn't like cut it open, and it wasn't like dripping goo all over the place.
No,
You're
don't want
I
that.
can't hold this. It was perfect, and honestly, they were delicious. So I went back and bought more. I've now purchased them 3 times.
Everyone in the family love them.
Yes, everyone.
I
So I
figured.
bought two of them this last time, and they have 4 donuts in each one, 4 paczki in each one.
This is just a little local bakery. It's called CT Bakery.
I don't know I don't think it's a local bakery. I don't know what it is, but this is the people who make it. It's called CT Bakery, and they make these paczki.
Oh wait, you got this at like a grocery store?
At Smith's, yeah.
You got this at a Smith's?
Yes, and it's new because I'm always in the bakery section. I love baked goods, so I was looking. So they're just new in Smith's. And honestly, they were so good. I didn't get to try the Boston cream one. I will say, in the last batch of the cream cheese ones, it looked like the cream cheese had broken a little bit, probably because they froze in delivery and then thawed. Because the first batch wasn't like that. Anyway, they were incredible. Honestly, I was craving them. I want them again. I want them more. I want the Boston cream one. I want to try them all. These paczki, as long as they're in Smith's, I'll keep buying them. If you see them, little white box
with a red outline.
Or was it a red box?
I think it's a white and red box.
Yeah. So these paczki, get them. If you see them, get them. You got to try them. I tried the raspberry now, which was also good, but I preferred the cream cheese. They were fantastic. I just really loved it. I often don't get baked goods that impress me that much, so I was into it.
Good. I like that.
So good. So I give kudos.
Okay, well, I have a Pudos. I don't like doing Pudos.
I love Pudos.
Peterson loves Pudos, and he's forcing me to do this. I'll do it briefly. I went out and
fun negativity. It's not like everyone got laid off and there's no jobs out there. This is like
this is JD made himself sick tonight because I went and got a Big Mac, a double Big Mac. Now, I know they say that this thing comes back all the time, but I must have missed it because the last time I remember a double Big Mac being on the menu, I was a child, like 90s.
I don't ever remember seeing it.
See,
The first time I
everyone's
saw
fucking.
it,
I think everyone's an asshole.
I messaged you when I was in London, and I was like, dude, they have
Yes.
double Big Macs on the menu here, like as a staple.
Yeah, and I knew that the UK, and I was always kind of jealous. Like, what are they doing right over there? And after having had this, I know why. I opened the box and I turned to Jen. I said, "This is why they don't make this."
This is
It
why.
was such a fucking mess. Like the form factor absolutely falls apart with these extra patties. So I finally get it like slopped into like a consistent cylinder that I can take a bite out of. I take one bite and it does the meatball sub thing.
I already knew where you were going with
and you know, I love the taste of McDonald's. Obviously, I eat there all the fucking time, and I love a Big Mac. But this really, and the other thing is, I went into this with a chip on my shoulder because I had seen so many people on Reddit talking shit on it, and I was like, "Fuck you, you're stupid. You guys don't know." People in the fast food subreddit just dissing the double Big Mac, and I hadn't even had a chance to try it yet. So I was like, "No, you guys are all wrong. You're stupid." So I went in it wanting to love it, and I came out just like, "What did I do?" And I didn't like feel good after eating it. Dude, it was all wrong. It's all wrong.
It's too much.
All wrong.
Too much Mac. Is that what you're saying?
Too much meat. It just doesn't work. If they designed a burger specifically to support these, they'd have to make the buns a little bigger. They'd probably have to use a little less sauce because it was sliding fucking everywhere. You'd have to try to, but the Big Mac is a designed sandwich to stack up and like be like that. And then I
didn't even know they were live yet. That's the thing. When you told me you had one tonight, I was like, the double Big Mac is live. I thought there was going to be some prep for this. I don't know why, but
this is a weird thing. Like I would advise, and I don't know if I would listen to this advice, but if you are like me and you're just a McDonald's diehard, you eat fucking every
JD
new
loves
thing,
McDonald's.
I would still advise you to avoid this thing. It's not worth it, and you can get it anytime. That's the other thing is you can always order an extra patty or an extra 2 patties on your Big Mac, and they'll throw it together for you. So this isn't something that you need to miss out on. This isn't something, but I had to get it because I remember the last time I was a kid, and I don't think my mom let me get it because she's like, "You'll never finish that." And I was like, "I will. I know I could." Well, guess what, kid JD? We did it, and it sucked. It wasn't fucking worth it, bro.
Your
mom was right. Mom was always right. That's the other thing that's going to suck.
Doesn't that kind of make you mad?
For you to learn over the next 10, 15, 20 years, mom is literally always right.
Yeah, they always
It's
know.
Suck.
I'm a parent, so I get to live this now. I'm like, okay, guys, I will tell my kids, like, remember this. Because I know at some point you are going to go against this.
You got to start filming them, dude.
I want you to log this into your long-term memory bank. Me saying this, because you're going to figure out that I'm right the hard way.
Oh, my mom was wrong on one thing.
Okay.
Maybe. Debatable. Pokemon cards. Never let me spend my money on Pokemon cards. She's like, they're going to be worth nothing. And you're just going to throw them away in a couple of years when the fad is over. And somehow Pokemon cards proved everyone wrong. That's crazy.
She was like 50% right because as a kid, you were not going to take care of them enough for them to be worth anything.
Yeah, no, she was 100% right.
Yeah, like
they'd all be. I don't know where the old ones, because I did have like a small batch that I did get a few, and I don't know where they went. So
my mom was right because I got a binder here of all the full set of Marvel cards from like the 90s. And you think like Marvel came back, that could be worth something. Zero. There was $0. I still have the binder though, just in case.
Damn it, mom was right again.
Just in case.
Right again. Shit. All right. We don't have a clip for this, unless you want to play the monkeys clip?
Oh, I don't think I have it on here because we didn't use it.
All right, no worries. We got the Blurcy results. Blurcy results are in. This is the big moment you guys are all waiting for. We thank you to everyone who nominated, everyone who voted, everyone who listened, everyone who participated, even people who are sending us Blurcy potential stories throughout the year. We really couldn't do this without you guys. So without further ado, let's read some results. First year was biggest disappointment. The candidates were Lord of the Rings Gollum, Lord of the Rings Return to Moria, Starfield, Redfall, and Embracer Group. And coming in with 46% of the vote was Starfield.
Knew it, yeah. That honestly is probably my biggest disappointment. I'm still holding out hope that it'll turn around a little bit, but I think they got a while, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Next up, most overrated. The nominees were Mario Brothers movie, the entire video game industry, the FNAF movies, $294 million gross, Diablo 4, and Starfield. Again, the most overrated goes to Starfield.
You're wrong. It's Mario. I don't care what. Okay, sometimes the voters don't get it right.
You made me double check that I wasn't looking at the colors wrong, because Mario was blue and the Starfield results were purple, and I was like, oh shit, did I get it wrong? No, it's Starfield again. You guys are right. In fact, Peterson, Super Mario Brothers received 0 votes.
You guys suck. I'm
0.
Just gonna say it. Like, I tried really hard to convince you guys.
No, not even close.
You know what? I need to work on my tactics, I guess. I'll get
play more Secret Hitler. You'll get there. Next up, worst sequel: Destiny 2 Lightfall, Escape from Tarkov Arena, EA Sports FC 24, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, and Payday 3. This one was, I think, our closest one.
Gotta be.
But it finally came through with 33% of the votes went to Escape from Tarkov Arena.
Good one.
Nice.
That one came from Silverthorne. That nomination wasn't even on our radar, but when I heard the argument, I was like, I think you might be right.
Next one, I'm so proud of our listeners. This goes worst name. This is a foregone conclusion. For the nominations were Naruto X Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, Game Mill, Mon Yu, defeat monsters and gain strong weapons and armor. You may be defeated, but don't give up. Become stronger. I believe there will be a day when heroes defeat the Devil King. Or The Last Hope, Dead Zone Survival. And finally, Operation Harsh Doorstop. And with 87% of the vote goes to Mon Yu, defeat monsters and destroy.
You don't want to say it again.
It did clip off. It did not. It's not. It was too long for the.
That one came from Phil again.
Amazing.
Just another banger of a nomination. So well done.
Yeah, we had 7% for each Harsh Doorstop and Game Mill, but just couldn't. Next up, worst decision: the doomed Titan submarine using a $50 Logitech controller from 2010. Unity announcing plans to start charging developers per install. A reversal of long-standing policy. A printing card worker stealing an unfathomable amount of rare Pokemon cards and then trying to sell them to a game card store. WB Games promising fewer single-player games like Hogwarts Legacy, and then Twitch can't figure out how much porn it's going to allow people to stream. With 80% of the vote, Unity wins this Blursty.
Yep, gotta be
perfect. Next up, worst gamer rage: 27-year-old man stabbing an 11-year-old for calling him an NPC. Yeah. Link's vagina bones.
That one.
Fox News is mad Xbox has an energy saving mode. Apex Legends summer skins weren't sexy enough. And finally, homophobes review bombing Horizon Forbidden West's DLC. This was another tightly contested one, but the worst gamer rage eventually, with 47% of the vote, goes to the 27-year-old man stabbing an 11-year-old for calling him an NPC.
That was some good gamer rage. Hey, quick go back, because I did give kudos to the other guys. Most overrated, Starfield was nominated by Skylar too.
Oh,
so
nice.
Nominated that one. So some good. Our nominees for our listener nominations.
They know
wins. Yeah.
Next was worst launch: City Skyline 2, Rise of Kong, Payday 3, The Day Before, and the post-pandemic E3 failure to launch. Another really close one. This with 33% of the vote went to The Day Before.
Nice. Yeah. That has got to be the worst launch.
That's pretty easy. Yeah.
I've never heard of a worse game launch in my life.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever will again.
It was really bad. Worst feature. This we've got Cenozoic era mating to become a baby. Resident Evil's microtransactions. The Hidden and Unknown's 8-minute long rant about men's rights. Tamanim RPG Ecstasy's gem debt. And finally, Overwatch 2's free currency. This one with 30% goes to the Hidden and Unknown's 8-minute long rant about men's rights. If you guys remember, this game also cost like $1,000 or something.
So good.
Fucking insane.
That's Blursty bait if I ever saw it.
Oh my gosh. 2 more here. We got worst bug. FIFA 23 was women's players. Starfield's infinite items glitch. Baldur's Gate 3 characters were set to too horny. Mario movie being posted in its entirety on Twitter. and Witcher 3 getting hyper-realistic vagina fan mods added to the base game. This one came in tight. Baldur's Gate 3 characters, too horny.
Yeah, that's a good vote.
32% of the vote. Next is Worst Studio, Embracer Group, Game Mill, Unity, Fantastic, and Blizzard. Oh, everyone got votes on this one, but the winner had to go to Embracer Group. Guys, they were the worst. I know there was a lot of bad action from all of those groups, but Embracer Group, for how detrimental to the entire gaming industry they've been this year,
smashing the industry to bits.
Yeah, I think they earned that one. They deserve it. So those are the Blursties.
I just need to give some quick kudos to my Fidelity account for not letting me buy Embracer Group stock when I was adamant that I wanted to. So
yeah, because it's gone down just a bit. All right, that's the Blursties for this year, guys. Don't forget to send us in any nominations. You can always leave us a voicemail if you go to 3bitgamershow.com. Drop a voicemail if there's something in the news that you think is Blursty worthy, or you can just drop it in our Discord and we will get it added.
Yep, we'll put it in there.
All right, let's move on.
Now for the moment we've all been waiting for.
Dice of Destiny.
Dice of Destiny is this game that we play at the end of every episode. We roll a 6-sided dice to figure out who's going to roll the dice of Destiny itself, a 20-sided dice with 20 different game genres assigned to it. Then we roll another 6-sided dice to find out our budget. And then a person finds a game in that genre for that price, picks it, plays it, and reviews it. And last week or 2 weeks ago, I rolled what was it? Early access game for $30.
Oh, yeah. Yep, stars
and
aligned.
I picked Palworld.
Of course, it's an early access game for $30. All lined up.
I know you guys were all waiting for this Palworld. It's Palworld hour. We're going to talk about Palworld for the next hour. We're going to
try to go under 2 hours. We're going to try really hard.
Let's see what we can do, because Peterson jumped in this with me.
The rare instance where we are both playing a Dice of Destiny game at the same time.
Peterson and I are like two drug addicts just wandering the streets of video games, and every once in a while we land on the same drug, and it is problematic.
We end up in the same crack house, and we're
huge bender.
Let's do this.
This is, dude. I love this shit. It's this stuff. It's called Palworld. Is it like Pokemon? No, dude. It's way harder than Pokemon.
Okay, challenge. We have a new challenge real quick. Do not say Pokemon for the next 30 minutes.
There's no way I can do it. That's the biggest issue I have with this game, is that I think we should nominate this for a Blursh name, because Palworld is
already put it on the dock. I promise you, I already put it on the dock. It's so
stupid. And they're called Pals, which I don't know if you've read the journal entries. I've been reading journal entries. There's an in-universe explanation, because the guy that landed on the beach initially that was documenting these noticed the first pal that he caught was really friendly. So he's like, oh, he's my pal. And so he calls them all pals. It's less than ideal.
It's so stupid. So stupid.
So just really briefly, this is a survival crafting game in the same vein as, I think it's closer to Rust and Ark than it is to Valheim, Minecraft, or a lot of other ones that I've played. But essentially you land on this beach, on this island, and you choose your starting spot where you want to start, and then you start collecting pals, materials, and all sorts of other goodies.
You build a crafting bench, and then you build your base. It's just the building stuff is
basic, just like you expect.
Super basic. Yeah.
And on top of that, you've got this monster collecting aspect, much like Pokemon, where you have to go out and initially, let's say there's a little lamb Pokemon. It's very weak. You can just go up and punch it. You go punch its health bar down to, 10%. And then you throw one of these pal balls. I didn't know what they're called, dude. They're Pokeballs to me. I don't even know.
Stop it.
What are they called?
They're called.
What are they called? Balls. Are they called balls? Because I don't think they're all. I think it's pal spheres.
Oh, maybe there's pal spheres. I don't know. I end up
so dumb.
I end up calling them Pokeballs in there
Yeah,
too.
you throw a Pokeball at it, and you have a chance of catching it. In fact, the little multiplier that shows you your percentage chance is really nice because in Pokemon, the ball just wiggles, and you just cross your fingers and hope for the
Am I
best.
get it? Am I gonna get it? Am I gonna get it? This one's like 12%, dings up
Yeah.
to 52%, dings up to here, and you're like, okay, I think I got it.
So fun. So I like watching that. The idea here is that, and what was really notable is that for me, my experience was that I caught a pal right away because I liked that. And then it started to give me the tutorial, which is like, build this, build that, build this. And I started building the very first thing. And this stupid lamb comes running over and starts hammering on it with me. He's helping me. And I watched the timer because very, very first thing I built, I was like holding it down. And it's like 20 seconds. I had to hold down X for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this stupid game? I was like, that's so obnoxious. Why would you put that in the game? And then the second the pal ran up, it went from 20 seconds to 5 seconds. And I was like, oh my God. And I could have just left and he would have done it on his own.
All of the pals have, I think there's like maybe 16 or something, or 14 different skills that they excel at. And some of them do better at other ones than, so then this becomes a whole part of it. Is like, I'm going to put pals in my base who are good at
some will build, some
mining.
will water, some will water your crops, some will plant your crops, some will lay eggs,
some will heat up your stuff, cook your food.
And so you need all of these kind of working in tandem if you want the base to, you don't have to have them. You can keep them all in the box and just do it all yourself. It would take you forever, and you'd have to hold X for a long time on a lot of different stations. Which is for me, it was unique in a survival game that everything you craft isn't instantaneous, which is cool because it adds a little layer of realism. Because every time I've ever had only like the food or the things that you leave, but when you go to craft a weapon or you go to craft armor or an arrow, that is instantaneous in every survival game I've ever made or played. And this
one's like, you got to bang away at it with the hammer for a minute.
Or you can assign a pal to do it. So that's I'm trying to get all the basics out so we can get into the nitty gritty. You're collecting pals.
You've got a party of 5 pals that you can carry with you anywhere you want.
And you can summon them whenever you want. Which
you're
one?
Crafting some of the survival elements. There's a hunger element, so you need to eat. Your pals need to eat. Also, there is a temperature element, so you can't get too hot, too cold. So you have to craft and wear the appropriate clothing for the time of day or where you're going to be. So that's the survival elements of it.
Yeah,
and
but they're pretty light.
It's real light, survival light. And then you craft armor weapons, right? You craft weapons, and you're going to use those weapons to go out into the world and fight things. There are regions in the world where the pals are just naturally higher levels. And so you don't go
just
there
like any
until
RPG.
you've leveled up. Yep. Because if you go into a level where they're significantly higher than you and you try to fight one, you're going to die. Like, they're going to whoop you. And so you can summon one pal at a time, and that pal can fight. It will fight with you.
And you have weapons too, but you can just let your pals fight. Just get like the real Pokemon experience, or you can help.
It's very forgiving. If you die, your stuff gets dropped. I'm trying to cover all the basics. Your stuff.
Here's a basic that we didn't cover.
Get it?
Recipes. Everyone's played a survival game is wondering, well, how do you unlock new recipes? I like that aspect of this game. Is that you just level up your guy, and every level you just unlock like a new row.
You get technology points to use against. It's like a new row, and there's like 6 things on each row. And then you use those to unlock a new building schematic, typically, is what you're unlocking.
So it's just gated behind your own level, which is pretty dope.
The multiplayer works really well, to be honest. It works well. You can just hop in and play together. Steam, you use a dedicated server. Xbox, you cannot. There's no crossplay between the two. If your pal dies, if your pal gets knocked, it's just like unconscious in your inventory. You take it back, put it in in the registry. It's called the pal box, but it's not a box. It's just like a registry screen. You put it in there where all of your pals that you've captured that you're not using sit, and it takes 10 minutes for him to heal. You grab another one, you go back out. So I'm trying to think, because there's dungeons and there's bosses. The
dungeons are really basic right now.
Yeah.
They're, I mean, they seem, you're not randomly generated, but I feel like
no,
it's
there's
like a Lego.
It's like 2 or 3 different.
They're like modular.
Yeah.
Like you'll be going through the same dungeon, but things will be in different.
The room is in the different spot. And the best part about the dungeons, though, is there will be a basic pal, basic type of pal in there, but as a boss. So it's a gigantic version of it, and you can capture them. And
they're huge. You release them in your base, and it's a gigantic version of the normal one you might just catch running around the wild.
And that's the other thing. There are several that you can ride. You can unlock a saddle that you can build, and so you can fly on them.
Yeah, they're your mounts.
You can use them as a mount. Some of them you pick up and use as a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, I'm
or
gonna
a flamethrower,
like a flamethrower,
grenade launcher.
And the thing we didn't talk about. We're just trying to cover the basics before we get into it. The traversal of the world, you can run around, you have stamina, you can climb anything, which is fantastic.
Legend of Zelda style, like the last 2 Zelda games.
And you have a glider when you jump off stuff.
There's a grappling hook
down. Yep. So mobility is really, you're not limited in that.
And there's fast travel points. So it's not wherever you want to go. You can build a base. I think you can build up to like 3 or 4 bases as you level up.
3.
But generally, you just are kind of going around these set fast travel points, and that's how you fast travel. And it's very forgiving in the fast travel. It's not like Valheim, where you can't fast travel with certain objects on your person. You can just fast travel all you want. You can be over encumbered and unable to move, and you can still fast travel. So that's really nice.
Okay.
I think we got it all. I think that's everything. The basics.
Now, what do we love about this game? Why are we addicted to it?
Gosh. Okay. I just have a list. That's so funny you framed it that way, because my list says basics and then it says what I like. And it's just that's all my notes are. It's just all the things I like about this game, because as Peterson noted, it's just great. It's like we can't walk away from it. We can't step away from it. They've done so many things right in this. It feels like dumb luck, because this isn't like a game that was made by like one of these superstar, like 100-star games where they've like crafted a team specifically to make the best survival crafting game ever. It's just like some
if you
random
have
dudes.
time, go through and read the story of the development of this game. It is nonsense. This game should not exist.
No.
And honestly,
should be like the Kong game.
It should be terrible. These guys had a 40-person team. They had previous games, so this wasn't their first game. But they were like, let's do this thing. And they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what a rig was. If you know game development, rig is like a preset bones essentially for a character. And then so that exists, you put the rig in your game. And so you don't have to program how an elbow moves, how a knee moves. The rig already has that in there.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know what that was. They spent, what did I say? It was like 100 hours or something making their first PAL. The artist for this was initially, she interviewed, turned down. And then they were like, oh, wait, now we know what we're doing. And 5 months later, they hired her. That's why I brought this clip in.
Ah, so you come crawling back, you cheap sack of shit.
Exactly. Dude, I think that's so fucking amazing.
They hired a gun, weapons, a kid who did weapon animations for funsies on Twitter. He worked at a convenience store or something. They gave him a job offer on Twitter. He moved there 800 miles away to go work for the company. They don't know what they're doing. It is all nonsense, and they made the most incredible game.
I think the universe is telling us that you and I need to put together.
Should we be making a game?
Because apparently, if you just have like the craziest amount of luck, you come out with this game. I don't fucking get it.
What they're doing.
I don't get it. They don't know what they're doing, and yet they're doing absolutely everything right. Yeah. It almost feels like a lot of the instances they were like, well, should we do X should we do A or B? And they're like, well, B would be a pain in the ass. Let's just do A. And I'm like, dude, B is what usually every survival game chooses because they want it to be a pain in the ass. Valheim, when you try to build something and you have like a bunch of chests full of shit and they're right next to the workbench, well, you still have to
got to go
open
get
the
it.
chest, put the object in your inventory, haul it over to the workbench. And so you're building your whole base specifically around where your fucking crates are, where your chests of
How you're
are.
going to grab stuff and bring it to your thing.
Because you have to be able to, and in like a lot of things are so heavy that you can barely carry. You have to move your whole inventory just so you can grab items to go craft something. How? So that's normal. That's how it is in most survival crafting games. I think that's how it is in Raft and all these other games. In Palworld, if you have an object in your anywhere on your whole base,
if it is in a chest at your base anywhere, you can use it.
And not even specifically a storage chest. Like I have a specific like chest for storing food for my pals, so they know to go to that chest and eat it, and I can still craft things from food out of that chest.
Yes.
And that seems like a thing you would do if you don't know what you're doing, because you're not following the industry trends of a survival game. You're just doing things that seem like, oh, that's convenient. And it turns out I like when a game isn't trying to inconvenience me.
Every decision they made seems like their main goal was like, how can we make this just an absolute joy to play?
Smooth. Yeah. And that's, dude, a joy to play. Like Hogwarts Legacy. That's what it reminded me of. Just like everything was with Hogwarts, where you're like, oh, I can just jump on my broom at any time. I can just fast travel instantly to anywhere at any point in time. Like, you're like, oh, so they just didn't want me to hate the game. Another one, this one was cool, is I mentioned this already, is the pals just start working for you right away. If you just put a pal out there, or you have it like in your party and he's like, they're out, and you have something they can do on your base, they will just go do it.
This will be a wild Pokemon 30 seconds ago.
Yep.
You
and
go
it
catch him, bring him back, and he's like, I know what I'm supposed to do.
I'll build you some bullets. Oh yeah, I know exactly how to craft bullets.
And that's the other thing I was going to bring up. A lot of survival games, like think Valheim, you're like, I need iron ingots. So you go mine the iron, you bring it back to your base, you put it in the furnace, and it takes time to do that. You just wait
and come back. There's a big pile of it like 2 days later.
This game, the pals just do all of that for you. You're just like, they will mine iron, put it
and pick it up.
Yeah.
Take it to the fucking chest.
They will put it in a chest for you. They just like, they do
automatically.
You don't have to do anything if you don't
They'll
want to.
feed themselves. I have a self-sustaining farm.
Yeah.
They farm, they feed, they put it in the little chest and they eat the berries.
They plant, they water, they harvest, they put it away, and they eat
and
it.
I don't have to
do anything.
I can pick them up, and that's how you that's hilarious, by the way. If you want to make them, assign them to something else, you pick them up and just throw them at it. Just like yeet your Pokemon at what you want them to do, and they're like, cool, thanks.
And there's very little parameters behind it, because like we mentioned, you will capture these gigantic pals and you'll just like throw them in your base. And legitimately, we have spent so much time just laughing at them because they're so stupid. This big whale you can catch and just flops around your base to like go
unreal.
And they water stuff. They just like spit at it. And I don't know why. It's hilarious.
Yeah. And you mentioned these elements, and that's one thing that if you guys play Pokemon, you'll be familiar. Or, I mean, a lot of turn-based RPGs that have a move set. Your monsters can only do 3 moves, and they can only learn from a certain pool of
water
moves. So if they're if they're a water Pokemon,
moves,
they can only learn water moves. In this one, you can just teach any Pokemon anything. Doesn't matter.
They have their move sets, but they've got empty slots, and you can teach them. You can also change them if you want. It doesn't care.
You don't have to delete the old ones. You can just have a huge laundry list of whatever move set you want, so you can really customize your pal to be exactly what you want it. So I have like a fire pal that does a cool lightning move, and it makes him a lot more versatile when he's fighting different pals.
Yeah,
and
the game almost doesn't care about type. Like it does, but it doesn't, because like, and they all have like an attribute to them. Not all of them, but they have an attribute. And I had a fire Pokemon who had a affinity towards water, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. But What it does, you don't care. It doesn't matter.
I hope they don't iron that out because you pointed out this is a 1.0 release.
It's
so it's very, very early.
0.1.3 is the release we're on.
Yeah. And so I hope that they're not planning to like add layers of complexity to those systems because it would be very easy to just tweak that. So, the water Pokemon can't learn fire moves anymore. I hope they leave it.
I did see a basic roadmap and like the biggest items. I mean, of course, they were doing there are some stuff they're going to work on. But like a lot of the big ticket things were like new areas and new pals, new islands, new pals, new dungeons. And you're like, that's what I want. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah, don't mess with what you've got at the basics. Really good. Another one that I loved, something that just it filled me with joy, is that you are leveling up constantly for everything you're doing, and all your pals in your party are doing the same. If you pick up a rock, you get 2 experience, and every pal on your team gets 1 experience point. If you mine something, if you defeat a Pokemon, if you catch a Pokemon, if you buy a Pokemon. There are so many things to give you experience, and they just go across the board. So unlike in a lot of monster battlers where you have to be rotating your team, so everyone's
you have to use them to level them. Not this game.
I hatch a level 1 Pokemon out of an egg. I love it. I want to use it. All my pals are level 20 something, but I just put them in my party, and after me just running around playing the game normally for like 15 minutes, he's leveled up. He's got all the cool moves.
He's caught all up. He's ready.
Caught all the way up. And so I am constantly rotating the pals. Unlike other monster battlers where you get locked in, where you're like, well, this is the one I spent so much time in.
This is my main.
This is my main. I am rotating so willy-nilly. The only one that is sacred to me is the wolf Pokemon that I ride everywhere.
So, yeah, that's the only... I have 2 spots in my party of 5
you rotate.
That remain that stay.
Oh,
it is the flying one and the one I'm riding, which I ride ride the electric unicorn.
Yeah. Oh shit,
and
that thing's
JD,
fast.
I just caught today a gigantic one in a dungeon. It's incredible. Man. I am riding a gigantic electric unicorn. It makes me so happy.
I have a huge Brontosaurus, and the Brontosaurus is naturally big, but then I caught a boss Brontosaurus.
It's comically large.
Yes, that's how I would describe it. The game has to zoom out so much. It's the only time my game zooms out is when I get on this Brontosaurus. And so it's just silly. It just seems like they build a game without guardrails. Like you said, they don't know how to build a video game, and it turned out awesome.
It turned out exactly what we needed right now, I guess.
So good. Exploration is amazing. It's not just like picking up. I mean, here's this. They did a better job of incentivizing exploration than the Zelda games did. The last 2 amazing ones that are so notable for how many cool things there are to collect. Well, you know those Koroks, like, haha, you found me. Mm-hmm. Those things you collect, they're pretty impactful. You use them, you cash them in to upgrade your health and your stamina. Somehow, the things that you collect in this game seem way more impactful. Like, there's these little...
You're going to stop and get it. That's what it is. You're like,
yes,
I'm going to...
Because I would ignore the Koroks in Zelda because I was on a different thing. I will go way out of my way for any of these collectibles. There's eggs, there's statues, there's chests. Just fucking scattered everywhere.
Littered.
And they're great. Chests. You open them and they're great. They always have something cool in them.
Something useful.
The map. I love the map. I know that's kind of a weird one. The map is really well labeled and it's easy to explore.
It's big. It's bigger than you'd think it would be for this version of the game. It's a big map.
That's all I got. Those are all my likes. What are yours?
Let's see. I mean, I like all of that stuff. My main thing. So whenever I play these games, as JD knows, I spend the bulk of my time just exploring, running around, doing stuff, and that's been my key. Is like it's so easy, no real guardrails around it. Like the hardest part is like, oh crap, I'm in the ice area and I'm not wearing the appropriate clothing. But again, I find the fast travel and I can just go back to my base, get it, come right back.
And every time you find a fast travel point, you get 1 technology point. So that's something you can unlock a complete new recipe just for finding a fast travel point. That amount of just cool things, everything you find or unlock, you're rewarded for.
Valuable. The one I would say, here's the one thing that I want more of. I want more NPCs that are like meaningful in the world.
Yes,
just to be around. But that's really it. Like, I just don't care that much.
This does not feel like a 0.1, does it? A 0.1. It feels
No.
like the things that we're asking of it.
0.7 is what I thought it would be at.
Like it's like on the cusp of a release soon. Like they're like, we're gonna add 20 more pals and this whole new area, and then we're releasing. But no, they're like, oh yeah, we're just getting started. And I'm like, how? How is this?
What else are you going to do?
Because compared to Valheim, where we started playing it, Valheim isn't here now where it is now after 2, 3, 4 years of development time. They're still not caught up to where Palworld is in terms of completion and
This
how
game
it feels.
I think the other thing is this game is inclusive in a way that is so easy, and not in like a this is boring type of easy, because you can make it as hard as you want. But like, my kids are playing it. My 10-year-old is playing it with no problem.
Yep.
And my 14-year-old is playing it, and they're all loving it. They're all playing with their different friend groups, because everyone in the world's playing this game right now. But they're all playing with their different friend groups, and they're all having a great time doing it. We're all doing the same stuff, but slightly differently. Like, it's like I said, it is a joy to play.
It's just
something about it makes me want to come in and play it all the time. I want to play it again. I'll probably log in and play after this, and it's.
We're definitely going to both be on this game 20 minutes after this show wraps. Like, I feel like this is something we should talk more about, is games being joyful, instead of trying to punish us or like elongate,
or feel like sometimes they start to feel like a chore to finish it, or feel like work.
Yeah.
This has not felt like that at all, even though these games often can feel that way, because you're like, now I got to grind to build this thing.
I never feel like I'm grinding in this game, ever.
You're like, oh, I need those ancient technology things, that you only get from like bosses. You're like, that's fine. Like, I know I'll find a cave, I'll go in, I'll beat it in 7 or 8 minutes, get some of these points, and like it. Again, I want to go in there because I might find a gigantic version of a normal
might catch
Pokemon.
that, yeah.
No, I will catch it. I will die trying to catch something. Like,
I've heard you on the mic dying.
I am going to sacrifice my life to get this Pokemon.
I feel like there's like you need a ton of metal in this game. And initially I was finding these metal nodes, and you'd mine them and then you'd haul it back to your base. And I was like, God, this is taking forever. So the next time I'm out exploring, I come across a random plateau. Now, this game is not randomly generated. It is designed. Every single corner of the map was designed by a person. And I find this like plateau that's just has 8 of these huge metal nodes on it. And I just set up a base there. And that's where I go mine my metal. So even the things that could potentially be grindy, if you're smart, you don't have to be that smart. You can just find ways around it.
Yep. It honestly is the hardest part is just like you're running around, and then your base, they'll give you notification that your base is getting raided by a random group of like mobs that are coming after you. And they do get pretty brutal. Sometimes you're like, I gotta fast travel back to my base.
Yeah.
But again, your Pokemon working at your base, they'll fight it. And so there's like,
they're absolutely crazy.
And we're throwing all the huge bosses at it. They just like go bananas and just start like, it's chaos. And I guess that is one of their slight nit. Of course, the game is not optimized super well
or balanced. I don't think it's balanced at all.
They didn't know what they're doing. And so like, I'm in a server with 5 other people or something like that. And if we're all together and a massive battle starts in our base, dude,
you're fucked.
I don't even know what's going on. I have to run away to try to figure out like what's happening.
Yeah, Pokemon that do area of effect moves,
and they all it is.
I'm like taking the cover off my computer because I'm like, you can hear the GPU spinning up.
Bananas. There are just sparks and all the nature abilities just like flying everywhere, and you're like,
no.
I'm gonna shoot my bow into the mix. I don't even know what I'm shooting. I hope it hits
something. So yeah, if you guys couldn't tell, this is for me a buy at any price. It's $30. You can get it on Game Pass if you want to try it and you have Game Pass.
The PC version is better than the Xbox version. Right.
I don't know. I'm gonna stop playing, dude. This may be a game that I pick up every single time they release an update, because they release and stay in my own world. Because if they release 20 new pals, I just go catch them and grab a couple more things, and I play the game for 20 hours, and then I wait for the next update.
There's
Like,
a lot
I'm
to
down for that.
do. It's like I want to catch all the pals, and if I catch like tons, I'm gonna level them up. I'm gonna level them up in the level up machine.
Yep.
And like, but this game, honestly, yes, it's $30. Absolutely buy it. Everyone is playing this game, but if you're not, you should be playing this game. It's so fun.
If my save file got deleted or crashed, I would be 0% disappointed to start up.
Yeah, I guess let's start over. I've already started twice.
Yeah.
And we were like, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's play
it's
again.
not, which is, with Valheim, when you get through like, I have to start up and mining copper and tin.
I don't know if I can do this again.
Yes. But with this one,
yeah, I'll do this again. Like, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Oh, cool. I'll build my base in a new area because, like, you can just pop it up wherever you want. So you can find a better strategic area to build it. So this is a buy at any price. Palworld. Check it out. It's on PC and Xbox. Hopefully it'll come out on PlayStation sometime. But that means we've got re-roll of our dice. Peterson, you seem so opinionated. You want to roll to see who will.
I got dice on me.
Who will be responsible?
Yes. Look, I've got
who has to put down Palworld for a little bit.
I've got a 6-sided dice, like a regular person. I'm not rolling that 4-sided piece of garbage or whatever. 3.
This one, yeah, little
pyramid. I hate
pyramid dice.
Nope, not that. It doesn't even roll.
Behold, so power of pyramid.
6-sided dice. I will be 1, 2, 3. JD will be 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Okay.
It's a 6.
Is that me?
That's you.
That's okay. All right, I got my 20-sided dice. We're hoping for 19. Big Papa 19. Let's see it. 4. Shooter. All right.
Palworld is a shooter.
Palworld counts as a shooter. We're gonna use that, and we're just gonna forget.
Maybe I can talk you into playing Hell Let Loose with me, but probably not. That is not your type of game, I don't think.
Okay. All right, so I've got a 6-sided dice. I can spend $50.
Oh,
50
Call
bucks.
of Duty.
Oh,
I know JD's like, this is, oh no.
Yeah, $50 shooter. Like, that's the funny thing. I think if anyone listens to this podcast, they probably think I'm like not into shooter games. That's what I cut my teeth on in video games. This is the first games I played: Halo, Call of Duty, Gears of War.
It's just been a little rough for a little while.
It's just been a rough patch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't found one. So this will be good. This is good for me. Go back to the roots. Shoot some shooty shoots. I love shooting. I mean, fucking RoboQuest. I love shooting guns.
That's true.
That one would have counted. So I'll find a good shooter.
Dang it.
$50, I'll find a good shooter. All right, that's it. We kept it under 2 hours. You guys are lucky. We
could still talk it if you want.
Palworld is going to take it minimum 30 minutes, so I try to speed things up. All right, to play us out, we have some music from Palworld. It's good.
Pretty mediocre. The music.
Well, they'll find some artists. They'll find some musical artists on Twitter. It'll just like make some John Williams era score
from Twitter to be like, "Are you good at music? Do you know music?" And they'll be like, "I don't know, kind of," and it'll be amazing. That's what's gonna happen.
Be the best song ever made. So, all right, thanks for joining us. Thanks for Snorgle and Jeff for jumping in on the YouTube chat, guys. We stream live on YouTube almost every week, and we usually do it on Sunday nights. So if you want to come hang out with us, just subscribe to our channel on YouTube and you'll get a little notification to let you know when we're up and streaming. And if not, you want to come hang out afterwards, you can hop in our Discord, and you can find a link to that on our social media, on our Twitter, or on our YouTube channel. There's a link to our Discord. So come hang out, come be social as social as you want to be. All right, I'm JD logging off.
This is Peterson going AFK.
See you dudes.